welcome to Night of the Living Geeks. If you geek out over it, we've got a podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of PODcastica, a Doctor Who review podcast here on the Night of the Living Geeks Network, notlg.com. If you're feeling like going over to a website, episode 135, it's finally here. The Woman Who Fell to Earth. My name is John, and joining me, as he will every week, well, except for next week, spoilers, is my good friend Taylor. Taylor, hello,
Hey.
It's finally here.
Yes, indeed. And spoilers, yeah, I'll be here next week. We'll get to that.
We will get to that. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Life is busy. Got some curveballs kind of floating around, but at the same time, life is good because Doctor Who is back, and it is so triumphantly glorious.
Oh goodness! Well, I mean, yes, it is, but we'll get to that for sure.
We will. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. The Yankees just lost, so that's always good.
From what I understand from the sports ball folks, yes.
Yes, they have just been defeated, and that's always good. Besides that, doing very well. I mean,
Good.
Yeah, I think next week, actually not even next week, this coming Saturday, Lauren and I will be boarding a plane and heading back east to Maine.
Oh, that's about as east as you can get.
Yes, it is. We will be we'll be gone for a little over a week.
Oh boy.
Or a little under a week, a little over by a day, I think. I can't remember. Look, we have the tickets. That's all I know.
Speaking of tickets, I just got my flight down to Gallifrey 1 today.
Oh, yes. Excellent.
Yes, indeed. So getting ready for that.
Oh, boy.
I know.
We didn't
so
have.
much.
Oh, we'll get to that. Let's just get to the Who news because I'm a burning here with regeneration energy. I want to talk about
Oh,
this
I'm all
episode.
fizzy inside.
So let's plow through this news here.
Yeah, definitely. Now that we've got the 13th Doctor, we've got some 13th Doctor novels coming, and they will be coming out here in the fall. One of them is called The Good Doctor by Juno Dawson. Another one is called Molten Heart by Una McCormick. And we also have Combat Magics with that CKS by Steve Cole. So we've got 3 all-original stories to supplement the 10+1 episodes we are getting between now and the end of 2018.
Yeah. I feel like I saw that Neil Gaiman is writing the intro to one of those.
Oh, I don't know.
I
I have not heard that, but that would be pretty darn awesome.
Yeah.
And as always, we'll always have links to all this stuff in the show notes. Barring what we think of the episode, because, well, we're going to get into that, so stay tuned. The press had lots of great things to say.
Yes.
About The Woman Who Fell to Earth.
Love it.
Everybody had really good stuff to say. The Independent, The Guardian, The Telegraph, Digital Spy, Dana Geek, Variety, NPR, The LA Times, even The Washington Post now is all on board with this, hey, look, there's a lady doctor, and it's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, it's been very cool. I mean, I haven't read anything extensively besides what would it be? Just like the headlines it's like headline with positive note. So I'm like,
yes.
All right, cool. That's about as far as I've gotten into it. But yeah,
insofar as the internet goes, that's about as far as I tend to go, because inevitably, you'll get to a comment section and then it just becomes garbage.
Yeah.
So I try to just stay away. But yeah, so long as I'm seeing happy headlines,
yes,
I'm not complaining. I'm thrilled that it's gone over as gangbusters as it has.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And speaking of just how gangbusters it's gone over.
Yeah.
Dig this, the overnight viewing figures, which normally we don't talk about this kind of stuff when it comes to new episodes. But this is big. This was just the overnights. You don't get the final numbers, I think, until like next Monday or something, where it factors in like everybody who like DVR'd it and watched it later.
Yeah.
But just the overnights. And this just accounts for the UK. This doesn't include the rest of the planet. 8.2 million viewers. That's a 40% share of the total TV audience that night.
Yeah, man, that is epic.
That's big. I mean, here we are in a country of 300 something million, and 8.2 doesn't sound like a lot, but for the UK, that is big.
Yeah.
And I think it's the highest overnight rating for the series for a regular episode in over 10 years.
Whew.
Yeah.
That is, man. It's very cool. You guys didn't think the woman doctor would work out, huh?
Yeah. How's that working out for you? I guess
right.
we didn't need those haters anyway, so.
No, we didn't. We got 8.2 million other people. Well,
Exactly.
you know what? I bet, some of them are probably hate watching it, so.
You know what? Fine. Hate watch
that's
it.
Fine.
Because you're still making those numbers better.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You know what? Hate all you want. Keep watching. Sit there in your seething mass of massive net. Wait, no. Anyway, your seething hatred, and just keep watching, and just keep watching live, because that helps those numbers.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Like, whatever. Hate watch it. I don't care.
Yeah.
This next story, this is honestly, I find this kind of weird, but at the same time, really kind of awesome. There is going to be a limited edition 13th Doctor Barbie.
Yes.
This is so wild.
I love it. I saw that and went, oh, that's super cool. Yeah, you can pre-order them online now. I think it said they will ship by the first week of December, and they are $50, which is a price point I guessed as soon as they said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. BBC Studios actually partnering with Mattel.
Yeah, very cool.
You know what? If it puts a character of this caliber and this already, we can tell, empowering into the hands of kids who can then go off and play and see themselves as someone who can do all this awesome stuff. I'm all for it. As weird as the whole Barbie concept is to me, but I'm a guy. I wasn't really the Barbie guy growing up.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't either, but I mean, iconic Barbie.
Oh, for sure, without a doubt.
Very, very cool. I don't know if this household will be purchasing one, but I think we might. I'm not sure.
I doubt that we will. I don't really have kids that kind of clue to that, although, Echo is excited that there's a lady doctor. I don't quite think, looking just at this first episode, that they're quite ready. There were some creepier aspects of this episode that I'm like, no, not yet, kids. Not yet. Not yet. But, no, this is neat. Now, so long as we also get the, like the Dream TARDIS playset.
Oh man, they bet that would be so
opens up
cool.
and it's huge inside.
Do that. Come on, Mattel.
That would be awesome.
I would be
support
so
that.
down with that. That would be great.
Well, lastly, in terms of news, we did get a Gallifrey 1 update, but they didn't announce any more guests yet.
Not yet, no. But as soon as you listen to this, I'm sure
they will probably have said something.
Yeah.
We are 128 days out from Gallifrey 1. I've got the page up right now.
It's so funny because you and I were talking with friends of the show, Peter and Anna, today. Mm-hmm. And when you said, oh, you can now book flights for February, I went, oh, man, I got to book my flight. Oh, wait, no, I don't.
No,
I'm just down the road.
You said that, and I got slightly jealous. I won't lie.
Fair enough.
I won't lie. So for those of you who don't have a ticket but might want to try and get one, October 15th is when the ticket transfers begin. That's a Monday. So obviously, John, I'm going to have to get the tickets about for you, and Lauren transferred to you guys. But if you are looking for a ticket, this might be the chance to get in and get one. Art show reservations are now open for you artistic types. If anybody's looking for really good stick figures, I kind of, might be able to pull that off. They are also working on submissions for discussion panel topic ideas. So if you're going and you're like, hey, let's talk about this, you can go on to the Gallifrey One site. We will have a link in the show notes and submit that. They are due, however, by Sunday, October 14th. So get in on that quick.
I personally think friend of the show, Mike Silkle. I want to call him M.A. Silkle just because that's what he goes by. But sometimes I'm like, I know him as Mike. Anyway, I think he should bring back the Time Scoop cast for this. Come on.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be fun. Let's do it, Mike. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'll get on this. You can suggest my name as somebody who will do this.
I would love for that. More on him later.
Definitely. There is also the Gallifrey Academia track that they are bringing back this year.
Yeah.
And they've got just an early basic framework program for 2019. Just, here's when this is going to open. Here's when that's going to close. This is happening. Very basic framework. But it also looks like the Social Market Cafe restaurant has now opened.
Yeah.
At the LAX Marriott. Obviously, Starbucks will be there, and hopefully the Toffee Nut Lattes will be back, because that is my official galley coffee drink. I'm craving one already, honestly. I keep wanting to go by Starbucks. I was like, is there any way you guys can make me one? Because I'm in a galley mood.
They have done some fine work over there at the Marriott. It's just, man, it's so different from when we first went, right? The rooms are completely remodeled. Everything is great. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Very excited.
And they are also bringing back food trucks on Friday and Saturday. This year, they're working to do 3 trucks per day instead of 2, and the trucks will stay into the evening to also provide dinner service.
Love that. Love it.
So I'm cool with that. They had some neat stuff last year. I'm excited to see who they're able to get this year.
Yeah.
They got some info on the dealer's room, some new folks, a lot of returning
custom bow ties.
favorites.
I believe was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I have friends that know the person who runs that. Strangely enough, Taylor, I run with the crew now. I have a little crew.
Do you?
Yeah, and I only knew about them from wrestling, and then I found out as I friended them that they also. One of them also has been attending Gallifrey for almost as long as I have. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm excited. He's going to be there, and his name's Berto. Shout out to Berto. I don't think he listens, but whatever, it's fine.
Well, that's okay. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to hang with you and meet him.
Yes, he's a good dude.
It's funny. I got to say, I have noticed, if anything, wrestling types are also into sci-fi, and they're into the paranormal. It seems.
Yes.
And I wouldn't have expected that, so I am educated here.
Oh yes, that one podcast I told you to listen to, that my wrestling friend Tanner.
Yes,
he tweeted about it, and I said, "Oh man!" He also just did one. They did one on serial killers, and I was like,
"Okay,
I gotta listen to that too." All you can hear, you can find them on Spotify. But come on, let's get to the main event here. I want to talk about it.
Let's do it.
Okay. And we will not forget to do that thing you have mentioned there. Should I just do that right now off the top?
Oh, sure. I honestly don't know that we got much.
We got 2
feedback. No, I didn't think we got much on Twitter.
Oh, on Facebook
but
we did.
I know we got some on Facebook. Yeah.
Facebook.
Definitely.
We threw it out there. What'd you think of the premiere? It just ended. We'd love to hear from you. Alan Gribben said, brilliant. It's a shame she doesn't know her daughter is out there somewhere. It was sad when she asked about her family. He said it was a bit yellow, but beautifully filmed. Loved it. And I do not know how to pronounce many names. And I think it's Tahani.
Yes.
Hey, look at that. Tahani Green says it was great. Loved every minute of it. And what they are talking about is the woman who fell to earth, starring Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, Mandeep Gill as Yasmin Khan, Tossin Cole as Ryan Sinclair, Bradley Walsh as Graham O'Brien, and Sharon D. Clark as Grace. It was written by Chris Chibnall, the Chib, if you will.
The Chibs.
And directed by Jamie Childs. It first aired October 7th, 2018, and it is the first story of Season 11. I'm very excited to talk about this, but we have some story notes.
We actually do.
My
yes.
goodness.
When I when I checked in on the TARDIS Wikia site, very first thing Monday morning, they didn't even have a page built for the episode yet, and I was like, uh-oh. But luckily I checked in later in the day and there was stuff. So yes, this is the third post-regeneration story to feature no scenes inside the TARDIS, following both Spearhead from Space and Robot. And this is the first story in which the TARDIS does not appear at all.
Woo!
In terms of the first post-regeneration story, the TARDIS doesn't appear in all. There are other episodes that the TARDIS doesn't appear in, but anyway. It is also the 10th television story in which the TARDIS doesn't appear at all. As I was saying, following Mission to the Unknown, Doctor Who and the Silurians, The Mind of Evil, The Daemons, The Sea Devils, The Sontaran Experiment, Genesis of the Daleks, which we recently reviewed, Midnight, Heaven Sent, and Live the Land.
Well, goodness.
Could I have rattled through those titles any faster?
No.
And not made more flubs.
Pace yourself, sir.
Okay, here, let me take a drink of water. You talk for a second.
All right, this is the first non-special episode not to air on a Saturday since Survival.
Yeah.
Oh, since Survival, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
The Gathering Coil, the spaghetti monster.
Yes.
Plants DNA bombs, a bit of a different design to which afflicted John Hart.
Yeah, Captain John Hart in the Torchwood episode Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Strangely enough, also penned by the Chibs.
Oh, the Chibs.
The Chibs.
What are you doing, the Chibs? Goodness.
I know.
Gracious. Well, Taylor, we have a synopsis.
I do.
And I'm very excited to hear about this synopsis.
It actually was, I was so overwhelmed by the episode, it was actually kind of tough to put one together to really encapsulate things. But the hunt is on. See what I did there? It's new. It's all new. And I'm really just kind of taking in how new it is, but it's also nicely familiar. It's just horrible. Wait, no, not horrible. What's the word? Delightful.
Yes, that is indeed the word. Taylor, my goodness, here we are.
Oh, I've waited so long.
Oh, my goodness. So
I don't even know what to say, but I have a ton of notes.
All right. So I think I had two questions in here, and I guess I will just ask you first off the bat. What were you worried about coming into this season / episode?
This is going to sound like such, I don't know, a cheesy kind of cop-out answer, but it literally is how I feel. I wasn't worried about anything.
Okay.
I literally was like, okay, from everything I've seen, from everything I didn't see, because we actually didn't have everything spoiled for us ahead of time. No. The leaks were minimal. Yes, there were some. That's okay. It just worked to make me more excited. I think the only thing that wasn't handled well was, when are we getting a date?
Yes.
And then, well, how can it be a global simulcast if it's on at 1:45 on the West Coast as well? And I'd like to think that my bitching to them on Twitter kind of helped change that. At least that's what I'm telling myself.
Fair enough.
But aside from all that, I don't know, I just kind of trusted that this was in good hands, and there was going to be so much new stuff that I'm like, okay, I'm just putting my hands inside the car and trusting the ride.
Yeah. So, I mean,
what were you worried about?
I wrote this question down and I went, I don't know if I was really worried about anything, but then I thought about it. The thing that really I was worried about was Murray Gold leaving us, and I wasn't really sure how I was going to feel about the score.
The music is always a big thing. I get that.
And I mean, we had the trailers that had that Macklemore song, and it was just like, oh no, is this? Are we going to have a bunch of modern songs in this? But no, I thought the score was great. I will say,
loved the music.
Yeah, the music was very, very good. I will say, I don't think, and I mean, I could be wrong, I don't think the theme we heard during the end credits is the actual theme.
The way that they kind of talked about how, you don't get to hear the theme in the first episode because the first episode starts a little differently. I like I said, I'm trusting them.
Yes.
Because I learned not to trust Moffat. I learned not to trust Davies. But I'm trusting Chibnall for whatever reason until he does me wrong, which I'm not saying he's going to. But yeah, I'm trusting that is not properly the theme that we heard in the end credits. I did dig it.
I did too, but
at the same time, I did have a reaction, I think very similar to yours, where it was kind of like, okay, well, I feel like this is just like the 1963 theme with a little more bass.
Yeah, it just got bass and drums in it.
You know, which don't get me wrong, I love some drum and bass, but
I do too.
I'm like, this is the theme, and then I went, wait a second, no. They made a specific point of saying we don't get to hear the theme and we don't get the opening until the second episode. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to trust in that.
Yeah, I am also going to trust in that. So that, I think, for me was the thing that I was worried about the most. And I have a note about halfway down my notes here, and I'm just going to pose this question to you right now. Did this have a bit of an X-Files feel to you?
I can kind of get that vibe off it.
I don't know what it was. Maybe there was a lot of mystery and talking out what was happening. And I mean, I know that does happen a lot, but I don't know what it was, but it felt like X-Files a little bit.
You know, I do kind of get that vibe as well. When I think X-Files, I think woods, fog, damp, at least in terms of visuals.
Right.
And it definitely was damp. Didn't get as much fog. And there weren't a whole lot of woods, but there was some amazing cinematography that we'll talk about here in a sec, I'm sure.
There were some woods, just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, of course there were. Yes. Because of where the giant Hershey's Kiss lands.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, there was definitely a bit of a mystery. And I kind of got that vibe, not all the way through. I think from what we've seen that there are some scenes in other episodes where it definitely looks like we've got this kind of like, you know, almost like Vancouver looking backdrop.
Yeah. I wonder if that was it too.
I'll be curious to see if those episodes or that episode has a similar vibe.
Yeah, I mean, those were the only things but don't get me wrong, folks. This felt like Doctor Who through and through.
For sure.
It can feel like other things, but at its core, it was the show we love. So, man, this show just looks cinematic as hell now.
Yeah, let's talk about the cinematography.
Let's talk about the look of this show.
Oh, my God.
That hill, as soon as we were on that hill, I went, holy moly.
I know.
This is something else right now.
We've got these crane shots where looking out over this valley, it feels so big.
Yes.
And later in the episode when we return to this same spot.
Yes.
Just the way it looks and the way it is framed. I love how it looks.
Yeah.
And I watched it both on TV and on my phone. So I've seen it at, two different sizes.
Yeah.
And it obviously it looks great on the TV, but even having to watch it on my phone at one point, it still looks good.
Oof, yeah. Goodness. I don't even think I need a proper Doctor Who movie now. If they keep filming it like this.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I'm just like I'm all in on this. Man. It just looks so good. So let's backtrack just a second. We open on, and I'm going to hop around here, Taylor. If it gets too much,
fine.
Just
I figured with an episode like this, not only is everything new, but it's an introductory episode. Let's just jump all over the place if we need to.
So I think we open the episode with Ryan talking about the strongest woman he ever knew.
Yep.
And obviously, I mean, I think one thing that took it out of this episode is we know that this doctor is traveling with friends, which I kind of actually think I might like more than companions.
So far, I am on board with this concept. Yes.
Just that they are friends and it feels more like a team. Mm-hmm. And it feels like when other people are saying stuff to this doctor goes, hey, yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Not I'll explain later.
Yes.
or anything like that
Well,
we get from classic.
Yeah, I mean, there are some explain laters, but I feel like the explain laters we don't see. So it's not like a talking down kind of thing.
Oh, right. Exactly.
But so we open on the YouTube, and then we go to that gorgeous hill.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness. And it's Ryan, his gran, and Graham. And that's what I wanted to talk about. So Doctor and her three friends.
Yes.
Friends. Here are the three friends. Who is this woman? And immediately
yes.
I went, well, when did you know she was going to die, Taylor? I pretty much knew as soon as she was on the screen.
I will be completely honest with you. It didn't even click with me until she died.
Oh, okay.
Looking back on it, like watching it a second time, watching the episode a third time, it's like, oh, of course.
I think
here's the person who's so on board.
Yes.
With, oh my gosh, there's aliens in Sheffield, and oh my gosh, we have to do stuff. We have to be people of action.
Yeah.
Where Graham is, of course, being a lot more like, no, I just want my quiet life.
Yes.
I want to go and sit down in my comfy chair and relive my memories of being a bus driver or whatever.
Yes.
And of course, it is the person who is kind of this glue between Ryan and Graham.
Yes.
Who obviously, for the purposes of storytelling, I see it has to be removed from the story in order for them to kind of bond more.
So, okay, I get that, but here's the thing. If the episode didn't end the way it did, I think her death wasn't needed, because usually we have a catalyst to where it's like, oh, I have nothing else to do, so I'm going to willingly travel with you. This is kind of like, obviously it was, a whimsical mistake at the end of this episode where we're all zapped into space. Spoilers if you haven't watched this episode 3.5 times like some of us have. But, I mean, it could have been as easy as, oh, can you guys help me? And then Grace is like, I gotta go to work. You guys have fun. And she just goes to work.
Yes,
it feels
and I get she could have stuck around as effectively a Jackie character.
Yeah, or a Mickey.
And gone on like occasional.
Yeah, and I mean, not even that. It's just like they go back to Earth, and we got Grace. We got a good, solid character just hanging out, being like, and where have you guys been?
I can kind of see that, and I remember her being billed as a recurring guest.
Yeah, so I mean, how's that going to work? Or was that just a lie?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I would actually be really surprised if they brought her back for something. And I know that it would be, I don't know, really kind of a challenge to be like, oh, we're going to end up in Sheffield in the past, and Graham, there's your wife.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I just feel like the catalyst, if they had said, we want to come with you, I think it would have at least been justified, but it's like, that funeral just ended like yesterday.
Yeah.
And now they're not breathing in space, basically. But anyway, there's one more thing I just want to talk about before we go maybe blow for blow here, is Taylor. I feel like we missed an opportunity here to have an alternate reality game going.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and I can kind of see that.
I think it's just it would have been a very simple thing to maybe have. I don't know how they would have done it, but I mean, we have. Is it Raul?
Rahul.
Rahul.
They actually pronounced the H in it. I think Americanized it would have been Raul. But.
So Rahul, who has videos, who probably also has some sort of, and we do get the YouTube element in the beginning there.
Yes.
I think it would have been cool to maybe have introduced Andy and possibly Rahul earlier in the year, and we get these like weird conspiracy videos, but we don't get what it's connected to. It's just obviously they would arg it up for us, so we would
right.
And then, man, I just really think it would have been cool because like, how does he know it's back? Obviously maybe the light in the sky.
No, I mean, in the episode he's literally written algorithms,
yes,
and machine learning to try and figure out, or do you mean in the ARG we wouldn't know what he'd done to?
Well, no, I guess we would figure out that process, and I think it would have been cool for him to be like, I like maybe have something fixed at the sky, but so he'll catch that falling to Earth, but he would also catch the Doctor falling to Earth, and that's how we would tie it together and be like. Because he's too fixed on that other thing, so he's like, I'm going to go get it, and leaves, but he leaves his camera fixed, and then it's like a time-lapse or something. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool.
No, I see what you're saying.
That's kind of when we would get that it was an ARG for Doctor Who, is when we see the Doctor. I mean, obviously, It wouldn't be like... I just wanted a really crappy home video of the Doctor falling to Earth into the train. I just thought that would have been cool. And that's really all I have to say about all of the things I wanted to talk about. So, Ryan can't ride his bike.
Yeah.
He hucked that thing.
Can I just say type F to pay respects to the bike, everyone? This is apparently a thing that I learned watching Doctor Who on Twitch. Apparently, if somebody dies, you want to pay respects, you just type the letter F. I don't know what that means, but type F to pay respects to the bike.
There you go. And, man... The hill, they're just sitting on the edge of this hill, kind of just talking about him not being able to ride the bike. And it's just, man, dude, I could have sat on that hill forever. It looked so nice.
Yeah, totally. And even, the music through here, it feels to me like it's so much more just mood and sound than an actual score.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And there were points where the music almost kind of felt just so atmospheric. It was almost kind of Stranger Things in a way.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I love, don't get me wrong. Rather than this kind of grand orchestral score that Murray Gold does so well.
Yes.
And it really kind of transformed things for me watching this episode.
So... Graham and Grace have to catch a train, so Ryan has to go get the bike. He sees it in a tree, and then we get some crazy lighting effects that kind of look like something Doctor Strange would cue up with his magic.
How long do you think it'll be till someone gets a tattoo of this golden permission square thing?
Oh, it's happening right now.
You think so?
No, probably
Is that
not.
buzzing I hear in the background?
No, it's not me. And it kind of, comes out of the sky. He's looking at it, and he presses the center of it. It disappears, and a blue Hershey Kiss appears. So there's some guerrilla marketing for you.
Right. I won't lie. As this thing started to phase into reality here, it kind of started looking like a TARDIS console to me. I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would have been cool.
I see what he's doing. And then it was like, boink. And I'm like, oh, that's not it.
Yeah.
That's like the I Dream of Genie bottle. What is this?
And he phones the police, which then cuts us to Yaz.
Yep. And the crappy parking situation.
She is a policewoman that would like to do more. And she gets to do more as she's dispatched to the Hershey Kiss.
Can I just say that Yaz is Officer Hops?
Officer Hops, yes.
She's like, I don't want to do parking duty. I want to do something big. I want the action. I'm like, you are a bunny.
Yep.
You're a bunny.
She meets up with Ryan in the forest, and then it turns out that they have actually both went to school together.
Yep, they were in elementary school together.
And they touch this Hershey Kiss, and it is burning cold.
So it's chocolate mint flavored Hershey's Kiss?
I guess so.
Okay.
Meanwhile, on the train, there's something on the train. Some
yes,
thing on the train. something lands in the or crashes into the train.
I really, at first, when I saw this kind of like spark and fall out of the sky, I'm like, oh my god, it's the TARDIS.
Yes.
And it totally is not the TARDIS.
It is definitely not the TARDIS. It is we get our first look at some killer special effects of this electric tentacle ball of thunder thing.
Tentacle ball of thunder thing. Hang on, let me write that down.
There you go.
It even when the train was completely dark and it was like in the next car kind of spinning.
You could see it
You could just see it. And even then it looked so cool. Not even when it was sparkling, but it was completely dark.
Menacing.
You could still see it.
It's very cool. Our first little baddie of the episode.
Yeah. Which apparently is called The Gathering Coil and not the name of a Nine Inch Nails album.
Yes, which
because it really seems like it should be the name of a Nine Inch Nails album.
I feel like you're not far off. I think that's one of the Halos. I'm not sure which one, but
oh yeah,
I'm not exactly sure. I'll look that up later. But anyway, what a fall we get from our doctor.
Holy moly!
Who falls to Earth? Technically,
Yes.
2 women fell to Earth here, but we'll talk about that later.
Can I just say, if that hadn't happened, she'd have just hit the tracks.
Yes.
That would have been bad.
It would have been very bad. And I know a lot of people are like, "Ooh, she fell so far. How did she live?" It's a sci-fi show, fool.
Yeah.
And she's still regenerating. So whatever. This semi-theme, when she pops up,
oh my god,
is a banger, as the kids say.
Yes, she hops up. You get just those few notes, and I literally I squealed and I had shivers.
Oh, it was good.
Every single time I watched it, I was like, "Oh my god, yes!"
It was good stuff. At this point, I believe Grace has called Ryan, who's with Yaz, and we're all on the train now. And we've seen the end part of this, but the coil shocks everyone and just zips away.
Right, but not before focusing on one random extra dude.
Carl.
Yes,
why are we so fixed on Carl?
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Just
and apparently the doctor hates empty pockets.
Hates empty pockets. We've seen a decent amount of this scene.
Yes.
It leaked, but looks better in HD and is still enjoyable.
Oh, totally. The way she said, "Tung."
Tung. I'm calling you Yaz because we're friends now.
Exactly.
Love it.
This whole interaction where 13 is asking the bigger questions. You know, Yaz is just like, "Well, I'm gonna call it into the station, and then what?"
Yeah.
Well, CCTV, because England's covered in CCTV, and and the doctor's like, "No, think bigger than that."
Kind of a little bit of a spooky Mulder, Scully little scene, huh?
Yes, I will agree with you there completely. Yes.
Anyway,
yes. Not to mention that BBC America was running X-Files commercials.
I wonder if that was helping me be like, this is kind of like the X-Files. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. There's a scene here. We get 2 callbacks to Capaldi. One is I think it's very solid. We'll get to that.
Okay. And
then this other one is when she realizes she's lost the TARDIS.
Oh,
the way she holds her hands up. It's a very Capaldi-like holding of hands into the air.
I'm going to have to go back and look at that again.
I took a still of it. Can I send you pictures through this?
Maybe.
We'll figure that out.
Anyway, when she just has that moment of,
yes,
I've lost my TARDIS. And I was like, my heart is breaking.
It was just the way.
Yes.
It was because we're going 1,000,000 miles an hour right now. By we, I mean our doctor is going 1,000,000 miles an hour right now, and then realizes, my TARDIS. Oh, my TARDIS.
There's just this moment, this pause, and it just sucks you in.
Yes, incoming.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sending that to you.
No worries.
So. And we're rip-roaring and ready to go. She's like, team, gang, fam, let's go. Carl's like, wait a minute. I just want to go to work and be left alone. Is that fine?
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, fine. And he agrees with Graham and says there's no aliens in Sheffield.
Yes, that is a very Capaldi,
isn't it?
Pose.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. I see that. I 100% see that.
I mean, it also helps that she's wearing his tattered clothes, but it's just like the hands and the like, oh, I can't believe I didn't notice that kind of thing. I got a lot of that going on there.
I completely get that.
And we go to find the Hershey kiss because the doctor says, hey, has anything else weird happened? And Ryan's like, well, actually, and the doctor really wants the sirens on in the police car, and says no, and our doctor is very sad.
I know. And she has the first, and I don't know if this is going to continue on past like the initial regeneration here, but they're talking about this and Ryan showing pictures, and she's like, oh, that's exciting.
Yes.
No, not exciting. What do I mean? Worrying. And I'm like, I like this. I like this a lot.
I'm definitely fine with misremembering words.
Yes.
I think that'll be a fun little quirky thing.
I like
forward.
it very much.
We find out Ryan has dyspraxia.
Yes.
Which
it's a real thing.
It is a real thing, and I feel like this is our first modern friend companion with any disability.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, what is it? He cannot operate. It's what is dyspraxia?
It's a coordination.
Yes, that's coordination
disorder.
Yes.
It's, I don't know. Think about it like dyslexia for movement. Maybe that's probably a bad example, but
it kind of makes sense a little bit.
But if you look on the Podcastica timeline, we did retweet something from the Dyspraxia Foundation because they're obviously getting a lot more attention now.
Yeah.
Thanks to Doctor Who. So if you want to learn more about that, by all means, look it up.
Definitely. So we get to where the Hershey kiss should be, and a third party has the Hershey kiss. And
the angels have the Hershey kiss. Wait, no,
angels
not the angels. Sorry, we weren't going to see those.
Oh no. Andy and Rahul have it. Andy seems very worried. Rahul seems very
antsy.
Well, he's determined. We'll just say that much. We find out that his sister was abducted, and I believe it's at this point that our Team TARDIS decides to split up. Ask a bus driver.
Oh, yes.
Galley ribbon.
Yes. Right. I'd like to, just as the resident gearhead on this show, recognize the fact that there is a third-gen Mazda RX-7 with a big old wing sitting in Raoul's garage here.
Oh, you were very... Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait a second. Is this... Am I really seeing this? And we've got like some Fast and Furious like street racing going on here, but nobody's talking about it. I'm like, can we talk about the car in the garage here? It's the elephant in the room, but it's a car in a garage.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't come up. I even tweeted the guy who played Raoul. I'm like, hey, wait a second. Whose car was this supposed to be? Like,
I don't know.
Never heard anything.
Maybe it was his.
But anyway, I noticed.
So we all split up. Graham goes to ask his bus driving friends, because always ask a bus driver.
Yep.
Some of
you
us
have so many galley ribbons to make now. What can I say?
I do. There are a bunch in here. I loved the passing out scene. I thought that was very funny.
This was just the best. I have this feeling. I have this feeling that Chibnall was like, what can I write where kids are going to be in the playground the next day and they're going to do something that's going to totally annoy all the adults, or I can have them stick their fingers in their noses.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
And this whole scene, God, I explained it to Echo this morning as I was dropping her off at school. And I don't know what even reminded me of the scene when I was dropping Perrin off. But she asked, and I was like, I was just remembering this scene. So I told her about it, and she's like, oh my God, that's so funny. Shows her finger nose. I'm going to need somebody to catch me in like 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Oh, you took a pretty big fall. I'm like, okay, no, wait, scratch the 2 minutes.
Yeah, this new nose is, I can't remember what the line is, but this new
so reliable.
So reliable passes
yes,
out.
It's such a great scene.
So we get the doctor on the couch glowing and vaping.
Oh, we get it, Doctor.
We get it, Doctor. You vape. That would be that'd be a fun
to say
ribbon
that
too.
this was the only bit of regeneration energy like escaping from her. This wasn't like a 10th Doctor every other scene. He's in bed. And
Yes.
So I was happy for that. I was like, okay, we got a little continuity with the doctors who came before, but we're not overdoing it.
Nope, definitely not overdoing it.
Right.
Doctor
the separate pulses.
Doctor wakes up. Yeah, we get the separate pulse thing. Doctor wakes up from the nap, and everyone is, glowing. They got little glows on their neck.
Well, but what happens before that is our Hershey kiss opens up.
Oh, yes, and we get a little homage to the Terminator with Tim Shaw coming out of the pod, just kind of in a Terminator that has like just traveled through time.
Position.
And also just, a little homage to the Predator with, just being a character.
Fair. I've actually not seen Predator.
Wait, you've never seen a Predator?
Obviously I've seen pictures of, but I've never seen the Predator films. It's kind of not my type of movie. I've also never seen E.T., so go fig.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was frightened of E.T. when I was a child.
Well, and that's why I didn't see it when I was a little kid.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Because I was like, no, that looks too scary.
Rahul asks where his sister is, and Tim Shaw says, ask me again. He asks again, and he goes, you will never know. And then, I don't know, this doesn't seem like that bad of a death, being super cold.
Being kind of flash frozen to death.
Yeah, I love being cold, so, I mean, I guess it'd be fine. Yeah, so he's dead. We hear a small little cracking noise. I mean, we don't know what's going on there. And we so the doctor messes with Ryan's phone and goes, all my social media is on there. Not anymore. And I love that was just a funny scene, followed by getting zapped and flying backwards.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
And that nap did me a lot of good. Comfortable couch. Come on, keep up. And we leave. We're on our way to go find Tim Shaw. We find Tim Shaw, and we are all running at the aliens. Unfortunately, Graham is not a fan of that. I feel like Graham is the everyman in this. I don't want to do that. That seems scary.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Why are we running at the alien? Why are you running at the alien? We're all running at the aliens. I'm slower because of all this fizzing inside.
Yeah.
I love the look Yaz gives her when she says that. And then we find Rahul. We find his body. And a line I missed earlier. It took all of his teeth.
No, it took a tooth.
I'm pretty sure they say all. Why would it take all of his teeth? Do you have the script?
No, unfortunately I don't.
I mean, that's what I heard, and I watched it a couple of times.
And of course I don't have the episode handy to refer to, but I swear it says it looks like they took a tooth. His jaw is split open, and I swear it's a tooth. Because I don't think that Tim Shaw's only just starting his tooth collection. Obviously, and apparently aliens the galaxy over have teeth a lot like humans, apparently. None of these are curly, sharp-looking fangs sticking out of his face.
That would have been cool. Where's that?
Right?
Well, I mean, that's what I heard, so I'm going to stick with that until I find a script.
Okay, fair.
And it's at this point we just are like, let's build a Sonic. Let's build a Sonic.
Well, we get a little bit before that because Ryan comes clean about, so I
pressed the button.
I pushed a button, and he's like, come on, you guys all would have done it. And Graham's like, I wouldn't have. But I love the look that the doctor gives. She's like, I would have.
Yes, definitely.
Sorry. And I feel like at this point, here's a part of the episode that breaks down a little bit for me, because we see Graham at times being really supportive of Ryan, and we see other times where he's just really kind of getting on his case.
Yeah.
And it feels kind of forced. It doesn't really come across as all that natural. We get the hints that there's some underlying tension, like Ryan's not really all that accepting of, Graham being like, the new guy in the house, even though they've been married for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And that, but we don't really kind of get that dichotomy. That's not the word I'm looking for. We don't really get that kind of tension built up much. So when stuff like this comes up and he's like, oh, I guess you're going to blame that on your dyspraxia too, huh? And I'm like, okay, whoa, hang on. You're coming on a little too strong all of a sudden. So that's where a little bit of the characterization broke down for me, but it was minor.
Yeah. Agreed.
But then we get to
Then we build a Sonic. And I liked this. I liked that it showed that our doctor can build things.
Yes.
I thought that was great.
It was fantastic, and it gives me so many questions about Sonics now.
Yes.
Because quite honestly, I was so used to the TARDIS creating them that I figured that they were linked that way. And then there was also the whole, like, what was it? Different case, same software thing.
Ah, yes. So
now here we have one made from non-Gallifreyan technology and a bit of Sheffield steel, which it was very cute to see the Sheffield City Council tweet out their pride in that the Doctor used some actual Sheffield steel.
Yes.
In the making of her Sonic.
Spoons.
Yes, spoons. Which of course I'm going to say is a callback to Robots of Sherwood.
Yeah.
And I'd love for it to be a callback to the Seventh Doctor playing the spoons, but it
could be both. Why not?
Okay.
It's both.
All right.
The Doctor loves spoons. And I also loved the building a Sonic theme song we got.
That was a banger too.
We got a bunch of violin in that. That was awesome.
Yes.
It was good stuff.
So good. And her actually getting an explanation of what regeneration feels like.
Yes, it is.
That was brilliant.
Dying and being born at the same time.
And it's terrifying, and just having to trust these instincts.
Yeah.
So good.
Very good.
So good.
Great scene. We get the finished product, and then a ta-da with sparks.
Yes.
Which is always great.
It'll probably be all right.
Yeah.
I love that we are properly referencing this as a multi-tool.
Yes.
Thank you.
A Sonic Swiss Army knife without the knives, because only fools carry knives.
Exactly.
Good stuff. And I didn't. Well, we found a video on his computer. We're watching that now. We know why he did what he did.
Yep.
A video labeled, I believe, "If I Die."
Yes. If I die, watch this.
Yes. And did you notice? This is another thing I noticed watching the second time around. When the Doctor is scanning the pod and then holds up the screwdriver to look at the top of it, we get a little gray flickering rectangular object.
Do we?
Yeah, it kind of...
I didn't notice that.
It flashes a little bit on top. So it's almost like I like that a lot more, because it's like, oh, that's what she's seeing. Almost
I'll
like
have to go back and look at
almost
that.
like we can see that part, but we can't read it, which is fine. I've suspended my disbelief that she's been reading something off of it since the beginning of Doctor Who. So I thought that was a nice little touch. I should have got a screen grab of that too.
Yeah, I'll bring it back up tomorrow and look for that. But I do not remember seeing that. But that's cool.
And man, let me tell you, I loved this scene where
the salad scene.
The drunk guy, eat my salad, Halloween, galley ribbon.
Yeah, definitely. And let's be honest, that's not much of a conquest, Tim.
No. That's
not much of a conquest.
No.
I don't think you needed to take a tooth from that, but I know you did.
Yeah, that was not a conquest.
Probably still has tomato stuck in it. Sorry, that's gross.
I think at this point we're tracking our gathering coil.
Yes.
We get to the gathering coil, and Tim Shaw's there, and our doctor says, I mean, it's bad enough you kill, but why do you take the teeth? What's up with that?
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that? Tim Shaw takes off his mask, and his face is covered in teeth. And
Yeah, that was the moment I decided, the kids are not watching this yet.
I also, I want to know, I almost thought, oh, maybe it would be like made of teeth. I don't know. But, so wait, like if, they take their conquest, the Stenza, which I thought was a great name.
Yes.
I love that.
I think that was a model of Nissan, wasn't it? The Nissan Stenza.
The Stenza Warrior Race.
That's right.
So does that mean like, do they all take teeth, or is it just like, I'm going to take eyes and put eyes on my face?
I'm hoping it's just a teeth.
Maybe just teeth.
thing.
I mean, what else would it be? I mean,
gallbladders? I don't know.
maybe teeth, tongues.
Tongues.
Anyway,
can I just say I love the Sheffield, the Yorkshire accent.
yes.
It is sometimes a little harder to discern exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
But I do love it.
I love this scene is just so good because the Doctor just trying to rile up Tim Shaw,
Yes.
figuring out that he is the one that brought the gathering coil, who sent it ahead of time to cheat because Tim Shaw is a cheat, and Carl is actually the target. We find out that I guess to ascend to being the leader of the Stenza Warriors, he has to go on a mission
On a hunt.
Basically the Predator. It's fine. It's fine. And he sends it ahead to gather information so his fight's easy, or his hunt's easy. So he sent the gathering coil. He gathers information, which is, I believe, called total transference.
You mean transference?
Transference. There it is. I see it. Transference. Anyway, and then Tim Shaw's like, see ya. And short range teleports. I love it's like, oh, short range teleport, double cheat.
Yes.
Love
that. But not before. Let's remember that they kind of got into, super action team mode and like overloaded the gathering coil. So it'll kind of like spaghetti flopped.
Yeah, spaghetti flopped
onto the ground. And then the Doctor was sonicking around with it.
Yes.
Make note of that, folks, because I was so caught up in the moment that I wasn't even paying attention.
Oh, no,
to the fact
I
that she
was too.
Sonicking at it.
I was too. And to the end when I was like, oh, no. And then I went, wait, what? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh,
So,
Doctor,
nice-
I should have never doubted you or been so
Nicely
into
done,
your
Shib.
episode. So we're on the hunt for Carl, and man, let's just talk about another needless death here. Oh, I'm a
There was
grandpa.
a pretty decent body count in
Yeah.
this episode right off the bat, but yes, completely needless.
Oh, I'm a grandpa that works at a construction site. I love talking to you, granddaughter. I have to go. I'm so lucky. I'm also dead. What? Come on.
I hope you someday write a script for something and it's written kind of like that.
I was going
Here's your
to
stage direction. I am a grandpa. I love you, my granddaughter. Oop, I'm dead.
I basically was going to write, or I had started writing our friend Mike, not Mike Sokol, Mike Lugaresi, who if you go to Crowbar KRROBAR.com, you can read some of his comics. They're all great. But I had started writing a issue of Crowbar.
At you.
And it was he was going to draw it in my style. And it was just the most insane thing I've ever written, but we never got around to it.
Oh, wow.
I think I wrote like a page and a half. Yeah. But anyway, how are you with machinery and hats?
It's not hats, it's heights.
Is it heights?
It's the accent. It's heights.
Jody. Anyway, how are you? How are you at machinery and heights?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Grace just really wants to stop this gathering coil. We got a lot. There's a lot going on here.
There is a lot going on here. Obviously, we've got Carl, who's a crane operator who has incredibly low self-esteem.
And is listening to a motivational tape, which was great. I loved that. That was good stuff.
Let's take notice of the danger. Death could happen if you climb on this sign that is there for a moment, and the foreshadowing it portends.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, I think the doctor tasks Graham and Grace with.
Oh, that's probably where I got the hats from, because they disguise themselves as.
Yeah, clearing the work site.
So they clear the work site, and then Yaz and Ryan climb.
Yes.
And I also like that Yaz said, "Hey, if you can't do this, you don't have to do it. I can do it." And he's like, "No, I have to do this," because he's got a little bit of guilt going on there. And we're trying to get to Carl, and Carl decides, he sees this guy climbing up, but our dead grandpa can't help us.
Right.
Because he's apparently the only one that has a walkie. Weird.
I guess.
And he gets the doctor. Oh my goodness. The plan sheet when everyone gets to the top is just it's so all over the place. She's like, I really haven't sorted it out yet. I really don't know. It's pretty simple, and they're like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, this is not simple.
Yeah. And we do on the way up, we do get Ryan still kind of struggling with just the dyspraxia. So I'm going to say type F to pay respects to that flashlight.
Oh, yes.
Poor flashlight. But yeah, they do get to the top after Yaz is like, well, do you have a plan? She's like, of course I have a plan. Okay, what is it? I'm figuring it out. I'll let you know when we get to the top.
Move that over there, and then we'll figure out the rest. But in the process of moving one crane towards Carl's crane, our gathering coil, I assume, shorts out the system. They show it and then they go over, so I figured that's what happened. But
yeah, that's what happened, because when Graham and Grace come back onto the work site, she's like, we've got to stop it. It's moved to the other one.
Yes.
And it's like, I forget what she says, trying to shut it down or whatever.
Yeah, it's trying to I think they say it's trying to get Carl or something like that.
Well, they know that Tim Shaw's trying to get Carl, but they literally, and it's tough to tell because these cranes look identical.
Yes.
And I didn't catch it the first time, but on a rewatch, it was like it's moved over to the other one. So Grace clearly sees Ryan is up there. Ryan is in danger. Right. So she's like, we got to stop this.
Yeah. Turns out Carl has to jump, and it takes him a little while. He goes to jump, but he got.
He did got.
By Tim Shaw. Tim Shaw grabs him, and the doctor's kind of, she finally figures out who she is.
Can I talk about this just for a second?
Yeah.
Because I love the fact that earlier when they first meet Tim Shaw.
Ah, yes.
And she starts to go, I'm the, I was just on the, she totally forgets. And I was like, oh, okay. I like this.
That's
like
good
this.
Stuff.
Let's also not forget the nod to the fried egg sandwich.
Oh.
Up at the top.
I missed that. Oh,
no, she comes up with her plan, and she's like, we'll do this. We'll get him down. We'll go back for, a cup of tea and fried egg sandwiches.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that this will be my way to lure Amber back into watching Doctor Who, because she loves a good fried egg sandwich.
Yeah. Perfect.
So, but yes, Carl does get got.
He gets got.
Yeah.
And, he's got a face of teeth. I loved that. I thought that was...
Oh, yeah.
But our doctor knows who she is, and she sorts out fair play throughout the universe. I love that.
Yeah. Leaps across, goes, these legs definitely used to be longer.
Yes, but that upper body strength is a lot stronger.
Yeah, holy moly.
I'll tell you that much. Jeez. So she says, all right, let him go. And if you don't let him go, I'm going to get rid of this. But he goes, I don't care. I'll just detonate the bombs. And she says, no, I got this thing, and pulls out basically the teleporter that will send him back to his planet. And he goes, I don't care, and sets off the bombs. But, Taylor, what happened?
Oh, he starts to melt.
Starts to melt because when he got all that information from the gathering coil, he also took in everything it had, which was also the DNA bombs.
Yep.
So we're getting all melty up in here.
Did not see that distract. Nicely done. And this is obviously after her amazing change speech, as I'm calling it.
Yes, very much so.
Which as much as it was obviously clearly directed to the fans, I still loved it. It was great.
Yes. And she throws Tim Shaw she basically goes, get off my planet. Or get off this planet that I like so much. And she throws him the teleporter, but in the midst of that, Carl sweeps the leg Johnny.
Pretty much.
And he falls off, but also teleports. And the doctor says, you had no right to do that.
I disagree. I think he had every right to do that.
I mean, you have no right to do that, I feel, is a callback to our 10th Doctor. Or basically any doctor who doesn't like something that someone does.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sorry. Carl was the target,
Yeah.
He could have been stuck into this, horrible stasis thing. Look, this is him kind of taking a stand and having some self-esteem.
Oh, no, I get it. For sure. And, well, Grace, I mean, yeah. She gets electrocuted and falls off the tower. So there, in fact, she is also the woman that fell to Earth.
Oh, and when I saw, Catherine Jersey, Cat, she does the Cat Missy cosplay. When she pointed that out on Twitter, I was like, oh God, oh you're right. Oh, that just hit me.
Yeah. So don't be cross with me, Graham. And Grace passes away. So there, in fact, she is the strongest woman that Ryan knew. He tries to ride the bike on this gorgeous-looking hill again.
Yeah.
As the doctor watches on from afar. I thought that was, oh man, this was great.
Yeah,
film
so
on that
well
hill
shot.
always. Forget rock quarries. Let's just film there.
Okay.
Ryan's dad doesn't show up to the funeral because he sucks.
Pretty much.
Graham's got a good speech. I liked his speech, but he also, as you I believe said, has survivor's guilt.
Definitely.
Yeah, because he had cancer or he's in remission, so it could still So he's like, I'm on borrowed time. I met her. She was my chemo nurse, and it should be me. It shouldn't be her.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And we're trying to locate the TARDIS. Hey, can you go? Oh, I'm sorry. Whoop. Let me back up.
Yeah.
New clothes. What'd you think of this, Taylor? I feel like we haven't had a good, should I wear this? No, scene in a while.
I would have liked to seen her come out in other outfits, kind of like how some of the other, at least some of the classic Doctors.
I feel like we haven't gotten let me pick out various outfits, or at least look at various outfits scenes since Tenet.
Yeah.
Because and his is basically here are all these clothes in this room, but I only picked this one, which is,
right.
More than we got here, but whatever. I'm fine with it. We get the kick-ass outfit. I really love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great.
I think it's hilarious that they're in a thrift shop, and
Yes.
the earlier pseudo trailers had Macklemore in it.
Oh yes, how was Matt? Could you imagine? It would have taken me completely out of the episode if Thrift Shop had started playing.
For sure.
So we get the new outfit. We are back in Rahul's garage.
Yeah, how has that place not become a crime scene yet?
That is a great question. I have no idea.
How is that place not just crawling with forensics?
I don't know. We had explosions coming out of it.
Yep.
We had lightning. We had a whole bunch of stuff. But we're back there, and we're trying to locate the TARDIS.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, we use some stuff. We use some things that go ding when there's stuff.
I get this total Holtzman vibe.
Yes, right?
She's got the sleeves rolled up and everything.
And she basically goes, well, this is it. I'll see you guys later. And, does some timey-wimey stuff, but everyone is teleported, and we in space now, holding our breaths.
They're not quite there. And let's notice the fact that, the TARDIS went all bonkers, went all crazy, go nuts, and landed on a completely different planet.
Oh, yeah.
That's big.
That is very, very big. It ran away.
It sure did.
And we get end credits, And as I said, I just hope this isn't the theme. I don't hate it, but we can do better.
Yeah.
Besides that, the music was amazing. And we got basically a who's who of who's going to be on this season. I would like to say spoilers. There weren't any monster-wise, so we know nobody's playing a monster that is... they're keeping that pretty close to the vest there.
That's true. That's true. Can I say of the... there was obviously a lot of names I didn't recognize because I don't watch a ton of British TV, or if I do, it's all stuff that I watched, a long time ago. Red Dwarf, Blackadder. But, okay, one, Alan Cumming we knew about, which is going to be pretty awesome. But Chris Noth?
Yes, very
Holy moly, really?
Yeah.
I was very surprised by that.
Very, very surprised.
But I definitely like the gal who I'm going to say is playing Rosa Parks, because she looks a lot like Rosa Parks.
Yes. And then,
so clearly I think we're getting a Rosa Parks episode.
Also, on next week's episode, we have someone who was on Misfits. I believe he played the teacher, or teacher, because they were all convicts. They're not their parole officer. They did whatever. It wasn't their parole officer. It was something like that.
That show is still on my list of I got to get to this.
It's so good
eventually. That's what I keep hearing. So I'm like, okay, got to get there.
So Taylor, let's get a shift on.
Let us get a shift.
I loved this. I don't know where I would put it in our debut episodes.
I needed to sink in more.
Yeah, so maybe it's
still too fresh.
Maybe we'll have an answer for you in a couple of weeks, but next time on Doctor Who, which is next week,
yay!
The Ghost Monument, starring all of our new regulars, written by Chris Chibnall and directed by Mark Tondel something. Tonderai. There you go. I will not be here next week, but filling in for me will be Mr. Sokol himself. Very excited. We were like, who are we gonna have fill in for us? But that was basically a no-brainer for us.
For sure.
I am very excited to hear you guys talk about this episode, and I'm very interested to see what he thinks about our new Doctor. But I feel like I already know. But anyway, I mean, this is great. I am super pumped for this season.
Yeah, me too.
And very excited to see where we go. And I would like to point out, it looks like the Ghost Monument looks where they were filming, where we got those pictures of those people with the big helmets.
Possibly.
People were saying they might be
looks like
Santarans.
an episode that was shot down in South Africa.
Yeah, people were saying it might be Santarans, but we'll see. I mean, close to the vest there. But anyway, you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at the PODcastica. You can follow me on Twitter at JPThrice, and you can follow Taylor on Twitter.
At a whole new username.
Which
at Blue Box UFO.
I love this name. You were telling me you felt like you needed a change. I said, what are you thinking? That was, I think, one of 3 choices you gave me, and I said, that's the one that sticks out.
And I think I gave you those 3 choices out of maybe 6 or 7 that I was kicking around.
Oh, boy. But I was like, nope, that's it. That is dead on perfect for you.
Yeah, I felt it was time to retire Apex Buddha. I think, just times had changed, and it was time for something new. And changes here with the Doctor Who, so why not a new Twitter handle?
Perfect. You can subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify. Just search Podcastica, rate and review us as well. Also subscribe to us on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/TheNOTLG, notlg.spreadshirt.com. Head on over there. The future of time and space is female.
Indeed.
You should buy one of those shirts and wear it on your torso and be one of the 8.2 million that watched that premiere. And patreon.com/NOTLG. We're going to have outtakes, some other stuff. Look forward to that in 2019. Things are going to get wibbly-wobbly and timey-wimey. The Y-axes, they provide us with our music. They are touring right now. Unfortunately, I was out of town and they were in town. So a little sad about that. But twitter.com/the-y-axis, facebook.com/the-y-axis, they-axis.bandcamp.com, and they are also, like us, on Spotify. So join Taylor and friend of the show, Mike, next week as they talk about the Ghost Monument, and they will talk to you guys then. See ya.
See ya. Right, but not before focusing on one random extra dude.
Carl.
Carl.
Yes, why are we so fixed on Carl?
Sorry.